a babysitter for Alan's family, and they decided to take a week-long trip to South Carolina. So we had agreed on a schedule that I would work for taking care of their kids, and I was promised $1,000, but at the end of the trip, he only gave me $600.
Okay, what was the schedule that you had agreed upon to work?
So there'd be 2 travel days, Friday and Friday, where I'd get paid $100, and then there'd be 6 working days, where 2 are days that I would work, and then 1 day would be an off day. So
were the days that you would have off specified?
Yes,
beforehand?
I have a text message right here that specifies that Monday and Thursday were my days off.
All right, then what happens when you get there?
So we get there, and on Saturday, his wife, Samantha, gets sick. And I offer to take care of the kids. I even offer to take care of Samantha. But he says, no, it's okay. You can go and have some free time. So I was like, thank you. That's nice.
Did he tell you that that would substitute for Monday or for Thursday?
He said I had a day off, but it was not specified that that would take over from my Monday off day.
Okay. Did you ask?
No, because I just was prepared for work and I was ready to be on my job that day. So he told me to have some free time.
Hold on one second, please.
He told me to have some free time, and so I heeded my employer's wishes.
You heeded your employer's wishes. It's like the obvious thing that the two of you should discuss at that moment is whether or not that's going to count for another day. And neither one of you bring it up?
I thought I sent her a text, which she responded to, which I assumed she understood what it was meant when I said she had a day off. Like Samantha was sick in bed. We couldn't do anything. I'm going to stay in the room anyway.
Why would you assume that? Why would you guys not discuss it? Because if she had 2 specific days off, what if she was making plans to actually, do stuff?
I was the one that paid for the trip, flew her there, put her in the room.
Well, no, of course you did. She was a babysitter for you.
Yeah.
I'm saying that if she has 2 specific days off, she may have something planned on those 2 specific days off. Do you dispute whether or not at the beginning it was you'll have Monday and Thursday off, or you don't dispute that?
No, we had that agreement.
All right, so show me the text between you guys when Samantha's sick.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Thank you.
So much. Yeah. I mean, she must have got a bug on the airplane.
Hey,
Saturday
Taryn,
morning.
I just want to thank you again for being so flexible today. What did you think that meant?
So I was ready to work. He said no, so I thought that's what that meant.
That's your flexibility?
Yeah.
Not having to work?
Yes, Your Honor.
This doesn't take flexibility on your part
to work.
Stop. It doesn't take flexibility on your part to not work. I mean, that's another red flag as to why you don't say, wait, I've got something planned Monday and Thursday. So the next day he sends you a text. Why are you texting her as opposed to talking to her? Isn't she right there?
Well, she's in the next room with my kids. So, I mean, everyone texts these days, so it was just, having that conversation like that.
Okay. The only time I text my children when they're in the same room, or my husband, is if they're ignoring me by looking at their phones. It's like I just do it to make a point. Anyway, so because, there's a detriment to that. And that's communication, which really was necessary in this one. So you then say, he tells you she's sick again, looking like this is going to be a second off day.
Yes.
Now, second off day, that also doesn't alert you that maybe you should ask, hey, I got something planned on Monday and Thursday.
Yes, but because that was the schedule we had originally agreed upon, I didn't realize that we were straying from it. And so when it came around...
you're obviously straying from it, but the question is it counting against you or for you or what? Like, I just don't understand why it's not discussed by either of you.
Yeah.
I happen to be talking to you right now, but I'm going to give it to him too in a second. I just don't understand.
I believe there was a miscommunication in that sense.
A big miscommunication. So Monday comes, and that's the first day you're actually going to work, and what happens?
Yeah, so I had a scuba tour planned, and I had booked that weeks in advance.
Right.
It cost a lot of money. I wanted to get that slot. And so I wake up in the morning to go on that tour, and he says he's going on a golf trip with his friends. So I said, oh, are you taking your kids with you? It's my day off. And he says, no, you're supposed to be taking care of them today.
Okay, so if that's not like, notice that maybe we need to have a conversation, I don't know what is.
Here we have a classic case where 2 seemingly smart adults cannot communicate to save their lives. A simple communication would have saved the situation. The only thing that needed to be addressed is her being clear that this is the schedule. I work on these days and I have these days off that I have something planned for. And since the plans have changed and his wife has fallen ill, he should have also communicated to the nanny that I'm so sorry, but this is what's happening now. Change of plans. Can you please do this and this instead of what's been agreed upon? As long as we are able to communicate, we'll be able to resolve any issues that we have and not end up in the courtroom. Let's go back.
So do you discuss Thursday? Or now we'll just see what happens Thursday?
We did not discuss Thursday.
Yeah, and then Thursday what happens?
Thursday, she, in my opinion, she bounced on us again. She went and made her own plans.
Even though she had, you know, Monday wasn't enough evidence for you that maybe there's a communication problem, that she was planning stuff on her prior, you know, on her
We've
selected
known her
days
for
off?
years. She was responsible. She's smart. You know, I thought she was flexible. So no, it didn't seem to be a problem to me.
What were your plans on Thursday? I understand Monday. What was Thursday?
On Thursday, I was heading to a beach festival, and I had worked Tuesday and Wednesday like we had planned. So I assumed that, based on the schedule we had agreed to.
Why wouldn't you do, if you knew that you had Saturday and Sunday off and that was and in your mind that was a total bonus, why wouldn't you at least offer to give up that? Because you didn't have money invested in the festival. That was just you wanted to go.
Right, but I was technically on call for the whole trip because, like you said,
I understand that. I think what you've heard me say in this courtroom should let you know I understand that. I'm talking about something different right now. I'm asking you why, if now you know that they were aghast that you were taking Monday off, and all you had planned for Thursday was a party. Why couldn't you just say, hey, I got Saturday and Sunday off. I wasn't supposed to. If you want me to work Thursday, I'll just work Thursday. Why couldn't you just do that? Because then I imagine they've never hired you again because they're pretty angry. So why wouldn't you just do that?
Because as an employee, like, I have my boundaries. In the olden days, I know we would just, at the drop of a hat, kind of go on with whatever our employer wanted us to do.
Depends on who you are. No,
just people my age, people who are in the workforce that are my age. People will just go at the drop of a hat, whatever the employer wants will do, but it's just not that way anymore. There's a lot more boundaries and a lot more principles.
Hey, listen, stop. It's not a matter of boundaries. It's a matter of communication. It's not like he's not asking you to prance around in model bathing suits. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, if you feel that there is a boundary not respecting your private, your day off, then I'm asking you why, as a human being, you didn't just say when Monday came and he seemed surprised, hey, let's just, look, I'll just work on Thursday. That has nothing to do with your age or your assertion or your self-respect or anything else. This is just like the kind of thing that people who work for somebody might want to talk about, because it's obviously that you're not communicating.
This is utterly amazing that none of them brought up the issue. None of them was willing to actually sit down and discuss and ask the questions. There is a lot of assumptions going on, flying left and right. She assumed that the days that she was technically off due to his wife's illness were still considered work days. And he assumed that she realized that because she was getting those 2 days off, now her initial days off are no longer off and she actually has to show up for work. And the fact that she decided to bring up boundaries that apparently he overstepped somehow is mildly annoying, because I feel like she will have really difficult time keeping any job at this moment. And okay, now you have your boundaries, but you have no job. Congratulations, mission accomplished. Let's go back.
So what happened Thursday?
Thursday, we were meeting some more couples down there, and that was our only day to meet them. We planned it, and she bounced on me again to go.
Well, why wouldn't, same thing I asked her, why wouldn't you, now that Monday happened, discuss Thursday instead of not discussing Thursday?
I think I was really irritated. I expected her to do the job that I paid her to do. I thought she
So you left it to chance instead of securing it on the Monday when you realized where her head was.
I hired her to do a job. I expected her to do the job.
Well, just a second. You hired her to work Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and she was ready, willing, and able to work those days. So when you say, I hired her to do the job and she didn't do the job, I don't think that you're in the right either. So now, you ended up getting paid what?
$600.
Which represents the 2 travel days are $200?
Yes.
And then what?
And then each work day was $200 on its own, so it would have been $800 for all the work days that I was meant to work.
So you paid her for 2 work days,
I paid her
Tuesday
for
and
the days
Wednesday.
that she worked, the days that she showed up.
Okay. And you feel that he should pay you the entire 400,
Yes.
correct? For the reasons we've discussed ad nauseum. What the heck did you think he meant when he said flexible?
That I was on call for the whole trip.
He's thanking you. That means you did something that seemed flexible. What did you think you had done that seemed flexible?
That I was ready to work in the morning, and also
You're supposed to be ready to work. That doesn't mean it's not flexible.
on top of that, taking care of Samantha, which was not in my job description.
You didn't take care of Samantha, though.
But I offered to, which is what I thought he meant by saying I was being
Okay,
flexible.
you're going to have trouble keeping jobs. I got news for you, okay? I agree with her, especially when she has like the scuba dive trip plan. All this could have been avoided with some simple communication. And it's a shame that it wasn't, because I imagine that the kids have bonded with her and now they don't see her anymore because you're not going to hire her. I wouldn't hire her, okay? And I understand your frustration, but I also think you brought some of it on yourself, you know? And I'm not going to sit here and split the baby, even though I think that she probably should have worked on Thursday. This is a legal call that I have to make. And the call is, was there an agreement to substitute days or wasn't there? The fact that I think she should have made an agreement to substitute days for the Thursday when she knew what you were expecting is irrelevant to my legal ruling. It's either you were darn clear that you were substituting days before you gave her Saturday and Sunday off, or you weren't. And I find that the onus is on you as the employer to be very clear on that. And I do not find that you were. So congratulations to you. You'll get that $400 and you're never again going to be hired by this family or anybody they know.
And that was a perfect mic drop moment from Judge Million. Yes, you won your case. You're gonna get your $400, but now you have no job, no recommendations, and no one in their circle is going to hire you. Mission accomplished. Congratulations. My husband always says communication will solve anything, and he's 100% right. If we can just sit down and try to understand and listen to the person in front of us instead of waiting for our turn to speak, I'm pretty sure so many conflicts, so many misunderstandings would have been avoided. And this case is a perfect example of this, or what should have happened. What did you guys think about this case? Do you think the nanny was in the right, demanding her boundaries to be respected? Or do you think that she pushed it too far? Please put it in the comments below, and thank you for watching.